right, so we do actually have some like Vanderpump update stuff before the recap this week. Let's start. I guess I wouldn't consider this light, but let's talk about Billy hanging out with Tom, and then having the nerve to post that rather condescending like statement on her page. And here's the thing: you're gonna post a statement. When you post a statement and disable comments, pussy. I don't like when people do that. But the way she's like, okay, I'm gonna read it because it's just really rude. Tom and Ariana are my family. They have been there for me over the years, and I wouldn't be where I am today without them. It saddens me that people are so fixated on picking a side. Okay. Both are human and both are hurting in their own ways. I'm allowed to be friends with one of my best friends who made a mistake while holding him accountable and not commending what he did. Anything else is extremely immature. Now, I see, I gotta stop. I'm done there. When she said that, she lost me. Because, like, first of all, don't school us on how breakups work and how it's possible to, like, be friends with both. We know how it works. Like, we don't need you, Billy, to explain it to us. This is a very specific situation. And to me, it kind of proves that maybe you weren't all that close with this group because you don't feel deceived. Because the rest of the people who feel deceived were clearly much closer to the situation because they were deceived. That's one. Number two, it's not immature at all. We're not being immature. We're being sensitive.
Yeah.
And compassionate.
She's acting, I feel like Billy is acting like this is a normal breakup. What her statements would make sense if it's just a mutual, like, parting of ways.
Yeah.
Amicable. Even if it wasn't like there was some sourness, like, for instance, like Schwartz and Katie or something like that, I wouldn't say that anybody should choose sides in a Katie and Schwartz situation pre-Raquel. Yeah. But I mean, this was just so. This also shows your character. Would you really want to be friends with someone?
That's the thing. You're not shocked by this? You're not like, oh my God, he did what? He was doing what? Instead, you're like, he made a mistake,
It makes me feel, and I hate to say this, but it makes me feel like she is choosing to align herself or be in proximity to Sandoval because it will make her be able to be eligible to come back on the show because he does need someone to film with. Doesn't it feel that way?
It feels that way.
It feels that way.
That's how it feels. It feels like that. So, no Billy. Here at She Speaks Bravo, we believe that Bravo TV is a great form of self-care and therapy. Look at me. I've been using it for over a decade, and I am a complete mess. That's me, by the way. I'm Emily, and I'm your host on this journey.
What is this, honey?
I love that. If you're not already subscribed, get subscribed and hit that notification bell because I'm releasing new episodes at least 3 times a week.
Clip! You fool!
That's my opinion!
I talk Bravo, I talk true crime, and sometimes I talk a little scripted. So whatever you're here for, I hope you enjoy the show.
Yeah, and Ariana obviously doesn't feel that way because she's unfollowed her.
Yeah, when she's like, I'm cool with both of them, not so quick, honey, because she's unfollowed you. So, and Scheana proudly proclaimed she unfollowed her as well on last night's Watch What Happens Live.
And to me, it seems a little hypocritical of Billy's statement that Ariana and Tom are her family. And Ariana has every right to feel hurt and wanting to distance herself from Billy because she's made it very clear that she wants to distance herself from people who are aligning with Tom in any way.
Yeah.
And that's fair, in my opinion. So my thing is, if Billy really felt that way from her statements, wouldn't she not? She then was petty and then unfollowed Ariana as well. I would think she would be like, you know what? I'm not going to unfollow because I'm going to give her time to heal.
Wait, Billy unfollowed Ariana?
Mm-hmm.
You what? Mm-hmm. You lie.
I'll double check again. But it's
Billy. Double check that because
let me
you
just
know
what?
Because
she did at some point, unless she followed her back. Because she probably got some criticism for that.
Oh, so but you do know that she did
She
that.
definitely did at one point. Let me
Because
see.
that says everything.
Unless Ariana if you block someone, do they?
Oh, good question.
So it might have been that. So let's hold on. She's not. Well, I don't see her. This is Billy's thing. She's not popping up as
Following. I wonder if you can remove, because I know you can do this. You can remove someone from your followers.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can. You can remove someone from your followers.
Okay, so maybe she didn't do
Maybe
it.
maybe she did that. Okay, so we'll leave space for that. But regardless, Billy, it does feel the befriending of Tom. It just has a thirsty vibe to it because it's almost like she's doing the math.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, there's almost
there's
no one's gonna go.
Yeah, there's just no space for her if she wanted to get, like, if she's trying to get on the show. There's no room for her if she is like, see, there really isn't. Like, there's no way she would get back on the show if she was just Team Ariana, because there's just so many people behind her. Like, Kristen's pretty much taken that spot, which is Kristen and Billy's interaction was so interesting. So, and someone pointed out,
wait, can you fill people in on what the interaction was? Because I don't know if everyone saw that interaction.
Oh, okay, yeah. So pretty much, Kristen, when all of the photos came out that Billy was hanging out with Tom, Kristen posted, and you were the person that was like at Ariana's house crying, like, you know, pretty much you're fake for this. And then Billy responded with Kristen, like, you're like one to talk, essentially. While I was crying with everyone, like we felt like we were at a funeral, you were there just taking selfies, like, how inappropriate. Your whole friendship with Ariana is a facade, essentially.
Okay.
But I'm like, Billy, like, the pictures that Kristen posted with Ariana doesn't look like she's being taken hostage. She looks like she very much wanted to take those pictures. And also, I think that she's missing the point of why she posted those pictures. It wasn't just to show that she's with Ariana. It was because everyone was saying Kristen is probably so happy that this happened because this is karma. So they wanted to prove that Kristen is not okay with what Tom did. She does not think that Ariana deserved it. It was a united front to shut that down. So Billy is really missing what the point of that was.
It really proved that Billy has no idea about the dynamics of the friendship. And so this is one of those examples of the fake friends that hang around, and you're the ones you cut out when you see when these things go down, the ones that you get rid of.
Yeah. She's giving Joe vibes to me. Like, let me cry with you. Like how Joe sent Katie a text message of all that weird stuff. And then Joe, 2 seconds later moves in with Schwartz. It's like, who are we aligning with here? Like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm. Totes. Okay, another thing that happened is Scheana's, was it her makeup artist or her wedding dress designers, went on Jeff Lewis's podcast and said that they actually caught Tom Sandoval and Raquel kissing at the wedding. Well, not like the day of, or maybe the day of, but they caught them kissing at the wedding.
Yeah.
And so they're like, we were under the impression that this was like a known thing, which I at this point would not doubt if production did know about it. Like, if someone on production was aware that this was happening and it wasn't necessarily their place to say something or what, which is also why maybe cameras went up so fast, because they were like, we knew it.
Yeah, like they were waiting for it. Maybe they thought it was going to happen at the reunion, so they were trying to like, oh, this is going to be the thing at the reunion. This is going to make our reunion really special. So they were like, I want her to, like, unfortunately be a little bit blindsided by it, so it's a better reaction.
Well, and another messy thing that production did, which, you know, I want to talk this out with you. So the same designers said that they were sitting at the table where the Raquel Schwartz kiss happened, and producers were like, we need this table, get out of here.
Yeah.
So that they could sit there. Now, mind you, did they know that was going to be where the kiss happened? No. They could have just been setting that up because Sandoval was like, let's have Raquel and Schwartz go talk over there. And they were just, you know, making that happen because you do need to set up shots and things like that for camera's sake.
Right.
But there is an element of kind of, production was a little encouraging of this.
I think production encouraged it.
Yeah.
Especially now that we know how, like, empty that whole Schwartz and Raquel situation really was. Like, I can absolutely see a producer just being like, I mean, Schwartz, like, if we're gonna do a kiss, don't you think this would be the perfect place to do it? Like, let's just set it up. Like, because he's the one who led, he introduced the kiss. It's like he knew what he was going to do there. You know what I mean? So it did feel very set up, and especially now that we got the information that they literally made them get up from that table. They knew something big was gonna happen. They're not gonna hurry somebody off for just them chatting. They could have chatted anywhere. They wanted to set a scene, set a mood.
Yeah. How much do you think production really did know, though, about Tom and Raquel? I don't want to think that they knew, like, everything.
I don't
There's no way they knew everything, right?
I don't think that, maybe they knew that there was some lines crossed, but I don't know if they knew in its entirety. But now with, like, this episode that we're about to get into, now I'm like, I feel like they had to know something, because I didn't realize how much they, like, I know that Katie and Lala had said on other podcasts that they had suspicions, but, like, they really did have suspicions, and we see it in this, like, episode that we're going to recap. So I'm like, I feel like production, if they're doing their jobs, would have at least tried to see if there was any validity in them.
Right? Because they follow story. So,
like, that would be an interesting story. Like, I feel like someone had to have known something.
Oof.
Okay, your cat is perfectly behind your shoulder, and it's so nice.
She's obsessed with this salt lamp. She keeps licking it. It's oh, isn't she so cute?
So cute.
All right. Now, also, it came out, I don't know why this is, like, not even shocking to me, but it came out that they had code names in their phones, which, isn't that, like, cheating 101?
Yeah, definitely. It wasn't his, like, Jamie or something.
Yeah.
Something that was gender neutral.
Oh, God. So gross. But here's the big one. The mental health facility of it all. Okay, this is where I was officially like, and I'm done. Yeah. I'm done with I was kind of done prior to this too, with being like, Tom's more to blame than Raquel. Like, I was really falling into that. Like, I don't want, because the woman always gets blamed more. It's just how society works. And I think it made sense for us as a society, as women, to want that to not happen.
Right.
But I was already getting to that point, just watching how much she was lying and watching how okay she was with lying. I was like, well, this is different. This isn't just more Tom's fault. She's shaming other women for the same things she's doing. And it was getting very difficult to find more blame in him. It was like, they're pretty equal. Then this happened. Then this fucking happened, where her team released it. So they were like, let's type this statement up, and here you go. We approve this message, where the words admit to a mental health facility were in it. And that, to me, sounds like you're going to treatment.
Yeah.
I post myself in defense of her, saying I will not handle any kind of slander or jokes about this, because if someone really, she's got to start somewhere. And if she's really going to get help, these treatment centers are pretty crazy. Like, they can get really intense. They usually put you on medication. They're even the nice ones.
Yeah.
Then it comes out that she was actually checking into Miraval. And here's what happens now. She did exactly what she wanted to, because she tapped into the bullshit woke people who are like, well, isn't it okay for her to work on herself? It is. But what she did is she purposely manipulated a hot button issue like mental health care. And now she's got you guys defending her when she just went to a spa, and that's totally fine. There are absolutely mental health benefits to going to a wellness retreat, 100%. Yeah. But to intentionally deceive and mislead, using mental health as your topic, it's fucked up on every level.
Yeah.
And
It
I
is.
am now done until she actually does get some true help and does some real growing. And I will be deleting comments on Instagram where some people are trying to school me. When I posted, I'm like, so I first defended her, but now this is where she's really going. And no, this is below wrong. What's beneath wrong? Whatever that is, that's where it is. Because then people are like, the mental health benefits of, I had mental health professionals writing like, as a mental health professional, this is so fucked up.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I got people like, I don't know, Raquel has every right to go treat her mental health. I had a friend that was suicidal and they needed to treat their mental health. They went to a yoga retreat and it was really helpful. Don't come up in my comments with people who are mental health professionals and try to school us on what's beneficial to the mental health.
The thing is, yeah, it's the
We
deception.
know.
It's the deception, and again, this is why Howie Mandel. This is so big. It's the constant lies. It's people, like, they're literally lying to people's faces, unfazed and seemingly unapologetic. So it's alarming. It feels alarming. It feels kind of scary. It's like you can lie to your close friends and family like that with no remorse. Still, I think that this could have died down, or they could have turned it around so many times now if they would just take accountability for any of their actions and just be a little bit more sincere. Even if they decided to stay together, you know what I mean? It's still like just being a little bit more empathetic. They just seem to be cruel in the whole situation. In the affair, they've been cruel, and they've been cruel since.
Yes, it's not stopping. It's not fucking stopping. And then, okay, so we go on and on about Miraval, how that's where they're going, but there's no confirmation yet. No confirmation on it. And then Miraval posts on their Instagram the lyrics to these are the best, what is it? These are the best
days of
our lives with a cocktail thing. So it just seemed like they were confirming that, yes, they are here or they're coming here or whatever. Miraval then ends up deleting it though, because they probably were like, ooh, shit, that was a little messy.
Yeah. That was definitely messy, but loved it.
Loved it. Absolutely. Great job.
Very.
They probably picked up some followers. They got in the mix, you know?
They did. I mean, yeah, I think that bass set the tone of like, they're like, I think we can do this. And everyone loved that when bass did it. Am I saying that right?
Well, I don't know. Oh, bass. Yes. The bags. Yes.
Yeah. So I feel
that
like
is how you say it.
Yeah, I just feel like they set that, so I feel like everyone's like, okay, well, like, everyone loved that, so we can get in on this, and it did not work.
Yeah. It did not work as well. Then Tom releases that statement about how he was planning on going there, but then they posted, and it was so unprofessional, and honestly, you could have still checked in, Tom. You still could have checked in. It still would have been fine. You were just pissed because you guys got busted. Guys got busted. Raquel did not have to release a fucking statement. She could have just gone to Miraval.
True.
She didn't. Why did she need to release a statement about going to a mental health facility? Just go to Miraval, dude. Go check in, do your wellness stuff, whatever. Why did you need to even release a fucking statement? I'm so mad about it. I can't even see straight.
You're really right about that, because if she had just went, I don't think that we would have cared. We'd be like, okay, they're getting away. They're trying to clear their head. That's probably what I would have chalked it up to. But you're right. Them releasing, or Raquel's team releasing that statement, alluding to that she was really because I feel like she even alluded to it before that statement, that she was going to work on herself. To figure out why did she say that in her apology?
No, in her, yes, that she was going to go, admitted or scheduled to go to basically a rehab that's how it sounded, but she didn't want to break her contract and wanted to go film the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So as if the reunion and her contract got in the way of her taking care of herself. So she wanted to commit to that, but now she's going to go back to that rehab. Was the vibe. That was the vibe and the tone. It was
I'm just
intentional.
Mad at myself. I'm just mad at myself for even for a minute thinking
Me
that
too.
she was, I believed. I was like, okay,
Me
all right. Like
too.
I was that was not going to absolve anything for me, but like, hey, I do think that people like the whole point like is to like grow from it. You can't necessarily erase what you've done, but you can absolutely learn from it and grow, and I always give space to that.
Always.
And she just keep letting me down, like with like all of this. It is unnecessary. No one's asking you to put restraining orders out. No one's asking you to put mental, like to say that you're going to a mental health facility. No one's asking you to do that. But then you're tricking us and you're lying to us constantly. It's just one lie after another, and I'm sick of it.
These are just these dumb tactics you guys are coming up with because you think that this is going to save yourself. And you know what? It's so like Tom to be like, we'll go to Miraval and we'll do these sound baths and we'll have these epiphanies. It's like, no, Tom, you actually need a team of experts.
Yeah, I don't think there's any helping that man. I think he is a full-blown sociopath, to be honest.
I do too. He was, we'll get into it, but yeah, he was scary.
I think he's you remember that face that I keep on telling, like sometimes he like when he is in an argument with someone, he has that like that face, that mask that comes up. It's like this smirk. It's coming out more and more.
Yep.
And it's so freaky when it does come out.
He was terrifying.
Terrifying. I don't think that Raquel is a sociopath. I think that she's very lost and she's easily manipulated. Mm-hmm. That's not excusing anything, but yeah, I feel like she could be safe, but I don't think she'll ever grow from this if she's still in that toxic relationship.
Oh yeah,
with Sandoval.
she's got to get off this show. She's got to go. She is someone who would be in a cult for sure.
Oh, Sorry, I do agree. She does seem like the type that would fall into a cult. And like
commit murders on behalf of the cult.
I feel like you're specifically thinking of what's his name who did the Hollywood murders?
Manson. That she's those women.
They're still going strong too.
Yeah.
I think they still have some followers.
She's like that. She could be that. She could be that brainwashed, that manipulated. Yeah. Did you even know? Because I didn't. And 5 years ago, I found out that you can get body odor just like you get under your armpits in other places on your body. Because I, for a whole day, thought I had an STD. I had just hooked up with a new guy the night before, and I had to go to work the next day. So I'm running around at work, and I go to sit to do something on the computer, and I went to cross my legs, and an odor that I had never smelled before wafted up, and I was like, oh my God, this is it. It happened. It's happened. So I started Googling things, and when, you can imagine the search words. And so I got a targeted ad for Lumi. And I'm like, what is this? Whole body deodorant. And it says the tagline is for pits, privates, and beyond. And I was like, well, now hold on. That's a whole lot less scary than having an STD. And I see that it's been created by an OBGYN who was sick and tired of the vagina being blamed for the smells that can come from that area. So she crafted Lumi, a uniquely formulated pH-balanced deodorant that is aluminum-free, skin-safe, and clinically proven to control odor for up to 72 hours. But I would hope that you shower within those 72 hours. But hey, if you needed it for 72 hours, it was there. So I bought it right then and there. Impulse purchase. And I used it, and I smelled like toasted coconut, which is the scent I got. Then I found out that you can use Lumi in the elbow crease, behind your knees, anywhere that you feel like you get kind of gross. And in case I haven't, did I mention it's aluminum free? It's also baking soda free, paraben free. It's pH balanced for safe use below the belt. You can use it under your armpits. You can use it everywhere. So Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers because it comes with a solid stick deodorant, a cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like the mini body wash and the deodorant wipes. I do have those, but they're in my car. I leave them there because, got to freshen up on the road. And free shipping. So as a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a Lumi starter pack with code SHESPEAKS at lumideodorant.com. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack when you visit lumideodorant.com and use code SHESPEAKS. Watch What Happens Live. God, I hate Michael Rappaport. I can't stand
I do
him.
too.
He just takes over. He's too God.
I do not like Michael. I don't.
No.
I mean, sometimes I find him a little entertaining, but then it's just in doses, very small doses.
Very small doses. Scheana looked cute. She kind of did look like Raquel, though. It looked like Tom Sandoval's Raquel Halloween costume a little bit.
She did a little bit, but I think but you know what? In her defense, I feel like that's
her
just
look.
That is her look. Like she's always kind of dressed like that, but Tom has kind of.
It's like
now
bitch stole my look.
Yeah, he kind of took that look and now it's his, and it's like,
damn
I
it,
can't
Tom.
unsee it.
Yeah, but I lived for this. This is a very Scheana. This is what you can guarantee Scheana is this type of friend. Because I don't know if it was a viewer question or what, but it was do you think Tom and Raquel are in love? And she's like, no, it's just, their affair, whatever thing. And she's like, and from what I've already heard, it's very toxic. It's that is so Scheana. What I've already heard, because, she's got the hot goss. It's very toxic.
Very toxic.
It's so Scheana. Scheana would give you that kind of tea about your ex.
Yeah.
She'd be like, don't worry. What I've heard, they're so toxic. Every time they go out, they fight. Thanks, Scheana.
She reminds me of Gretchen Wieners and Mean Girls.
Oh my God. Yes, no, she's full Gretchen Wieners for life. That is Scheana. Scheana even looks like Gretchen Wieners.
She does. She's 100% Gretchen. By the way, I love all the characters, so that's shade.
No shade at all. That is
no shade.
That's one of the best movies of all time, to be any of the characters.
Oh,
there was a BuzzFeed. Did you ever take the BuzzFeed quiz? Which Mean Girls are you?
Oh, I'm sure I have. I don't even know who I was, but I'm sure I've taken it.
I kept getting Regina, and I was like, what?
That makes sense for you.
Why? I am not at all. I am not.
Who do you think you are?
Katie.
No, you're not.
Not.
Who do you think I am? Am I the black girl who's it's my mom's?
No,
my mom's
you are
from the 70s.
You're Regina for sure. You're a leader.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
But no, I was taking it with a friend, and she kept getting Gretchen, and she was so pissed. She kept trying to retake it, and she kept getting Gretchen.
Honestly, I low-key would love to get Gretchen because I found her one of the most interesting characters. I did a monologue, her Caesar monologue.
Oh yeah,
in my dialects class in college. I did it British dialect, and I was like, I'm doing this scene from Mean Girls, and I was like, Caesar. I was like, I got an A. I won't do it here, but
look at you. She got an A. Everybody,
I got an A.
A on that. What else was good from that? Oh, Scheana did admit to pushing, shoving Raquel, and throwing her phone. She said, "Yes, I did throw the phone."
I like how she was like, I'm not going to admit to anything until the court case is closed."
Yeah, exactly.
Smart girl.
Scheana did have to answer for why she was so encouraging of Raquel and Schwartz kissing. She kind of tried to get out of it. For sure. She's like, I wasn't cheering. I wasn't technically cheering at that moment. And they were like, Scheana,
girl, we've already forgiven you.
But you were encouraging, and so I have forgiven her though. I get it. Scheana has learned such valuable lessons from this whole thing. She has learned all of the things. She's learned to stop being so spiteful. And I bet even kind of maybe Katie's learned a couple of those lessons too in this mix.
Yeah.
They've all learned a lot, and there's nothing unites a group more than a common enemy. Like,
Yes.
That's why Jax was kind of helpful, because like when you watch the show, it's like we can all agree on one thing, right? That Jax is the worst. Cool.
Yeah.
So I think that Scheana has learned, don't trust your gut about these dumb bitches. Like, you need to stop, because the real ones are, not Raquel's.
Yeah.
And the soul, like the vengeful stuff. I'm glad that her and Katie can like squash that beef finally. Like all the stuff from the past on this show. What are you talking about? Let it go.
Yeah.
When she referenced it at Tom's show with Raquel, like, how many times have we walked in and felt excluded? I'm like when? Like
you're holding
10
on
years
to stuff
ago?
from 6 seasons ago. Like, relax. People were allowed to grow, and you guys. The thing is, you guys have like been friends since then. So I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that bullshit.
Yeah, like we need to stop tit for tatting. We're moving on. The whole group has been like detonated, exploded. Everything is different now, so it's a cool reset.
Yeah, I am very happy that they're all, including like Katie, like they're just like, you know what? It's just really the big picture of it all. Like what we're fighting about isn't even real. It turns out it's really not even real. Like
it really is not real.
Like the Schwartz and Raquel thing was just such a phony thing, and so why are we fighting about it?
Exactly. And like what this has done is, granted, Michael Rappaport acted like it was such a scary thing. I got annoyed by him when there was a question like, can Tom Sandoval win back the group's trust? And Scheana was like, no. And Michael Rappaport was like, what do you mean? How are we going to make this show? I was like, can you chill the fuck out? I was glad that Andy was like, shut up. We got this. Like, can you knock it off? We always figure it out. Like, stop.
I mean,
amateur. Fucking amateur.
I was going to say, well, they hated Jax, but I guess Jax did weasel his way back. But like, this is the thing. I keep trying to think about why Jax feels so different. And it's because Jax didn't have a problem with admitting that he was like, that was fucked up what I did.
Yes.
And then, like, you know what I mean? He still will keep doing it, but he'd be like, yeah, like what I did was like super terrible. Like, I don't know why they're friends with me. Like, I'm a fucking bad person.
And then as soon as they'd start piling on a little too hard, he'd be like, okay, it wasn't really that bad. No one died. Yeah. And then he just held on long enough, and then they move on.
I think the problem is Tom is really trying to play some type of like, no, I'm the victim here. And that's why he's losing the audience big time. It's like, all you have to do is like, I was an asshole. And most of the fans will probably, or like at least a good chunk of them would be like, okay, well, we want to forgive you, because people want to forgive.
Yeah. And honestly,
not me,
let there be a season where they're all doing split scenes. Like, shut up, Michael. They can figure it out. Like, I don't need your input. That's why you don't produce shows. Okay. What else happened with Scheana that was cute? Oh, she said that she did question Brock. She questioned Brock about the rumor. I kind of believed her. I believed that she did like a stern questioning. I bought it. I bought that she was
I believed it too.
She was like, yeah, no, I may not have thought it would ever be possible, but after Sandoval, anything could be possible.
I was actually super proud of her in that moment, because I actually thought she was going to say just like, no, that would never happen, and just like brush it off,
Me too.
Which is I guess understandable as well. Like, you don't want to feed into all of this salacious gossip.
Totally.
But I was like a little taken aback and impressed.
Yes,
I was like,
girl.
You said, you know what? If it can happen to her, it can happen to me. And I'm going to not be blind, and I'm going to ask him, and then I'm going to ask him a couple more questions.
Yeah,
like,
she said, and I had follow-up questions. I said, oh.
Like, she was trying to hit every angle of it. I was like, okay, Scheana.
Yeah,
respect.
I was shocked. So she's changed. This has changed Sheena's inner workings.
Yeah.
So, you know what? The way we started this season to now, we're all different people.
It's so night and day. Like, this whole thing is just like, I'm on my emotions on people, the roller coaster we've been on. Yeah.
It's so much
Okay.
more fun not being mad at Scheana. I'm so happy that we're
Yeah,
all over
it is
it.
more-
It's nice.
I am happy. I'm happy that we like her now because
Yeah.
I don't want to like. That's one of the reasons why I like Vanderpump Rules because
Yeah.
they're all like they all are annoying in their own ways, and I sometimes like somebody one season and I sometimes like there's no. I don't think I have one person that I'm like that's my favorite person. Like that's not like I'm a this person stan. They all change for me.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they really do. That's why I really like this show.
Yeah. So it's better that we're all kind of on the same page. Am I missing something from what I meant to take notes, but apparently
I'm trying to scan in my head. I think that was like you hit the like
I
all
hit
like
the
the
big
really
points.
important parts.
yeah. If we think of anything else while we're going through the recap, we'll pop it up.
Yeah.
But let's get into said recap, shall we?
Yeah.
Mistress in Distress. Good title. The moment that we see Katie is giving Schwartz dust. It was like we were slow clapping. We were slow clap. We all stood up.
So good.
Oh, it felt so. She. You could just tell as soon as he opens that door, the way she greets him, she's like, "Where's Gordo?" Okay, he's like, "Oh, he's over there. Oh, we're eating Monterey Jack cheese." And she's like, "I don't care." And he's like, "Man, I'm so stressed out. Oh, we don't have a kitchen staff." She goes, "That sounds awful. Well, see ya." Gorgeous, stunning,
Stunning.
no notes.
No notes. It was in and out, like just the right amount of like coldness. It was, but not too much. Like you know what I mean? It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It was matter of fact. Transactional.
Yes, I
loved it.
It was transactional, honey. She's like, we just do this for the dogs.
Yeah. She didn't even come in that space like being like cussing him out. She didn't do any of that stuff. It was just she kept it all the way together. And I hate Tom. I hate Tom. He always trying to like you just did all of that in Mexico and you want to talk to me about your business?
Yep. Of course he does, right? Of course he does because that's what he's used to getting with Katie.
Yeah.
He's like, I do fucked up stuff and then I get to unload all my emotional baggage on you and you'll get mad at me at least because it's at least attention. He's gotten so used to their dysfunctional dynamic where she'll be like, "Are you really trying to talk to me after what you did?" And he'll be like, "Oh my God, Katie, okay." And then he'll make her feel stupid because that's what he's used to. But when he can't get that fix, what does he do? He calls Sandoval, who happens to be in a confessional. And I swear, Schwartz is trying to convince himself here. He's like, I did nothing wrong. I did nothing wrong. And Sandoval, of course, like, no, man, you're just like two people in Mexico, you know? And Schwartz goes, living La Vida Loca. Did you seriously just quote Ricky Martin?
My God. Schwartz, what happened to you? Like, he is a shell of a man.
Shell of a man. Schwartz has the nerve in his confessional to say she's more upset about this than when I did actually cheat on her.
Please don't say that ever again in your fucking life, Schwartz. Like,
the layers of fucked upness on that one.
he thinks that's so cute what he said too.
He did, yeah.
He
really did.
thought-
He smiled.
Like, I wonder when he realized that this was not going to be his season. Like, when did it hit him? Because man,
was he in a confessional and he could hear himself? He's like, "Ooh, I don't sound good, do I?"
Like, I feel like he can feel it. He just like he looks sweaty. He looks like just. And it's so funny because now all of the old clips are coming back of like, I think someone did a compilation of like all of the shitty things that Schwartz has ever done to Katie. And it's just like, guys, this man was like terrible. Terrible. But it was a little bit easier to accept it when he looked good. And
that's the sad thing. Pretty privilege is
pretty
real.
privilege is real.
so now it's unacceptable.
It's like, what?
Because you don't even fit in your damn suit at the dinner, okay?
Yeah,
so.
like, how dare you try to come at Katie when you can't fit in your suit, sir?
And sweating, and
you
your
sweaty man.
Glasses are all fogged up.
And your restaurant sucks. You don't have a menu.
Okay, so get out. Raquel and Charlie at the park, and Charlie really earned a ton of points back because she lets Raquel have it.
She does.
She says, I think it was distasteful.
That was
what
such a
happened
good word.
She says, to be honest, Raquel, I wouldn't do that to my worst enemy.
Damn.
I was like, Raquel's better than that. Now, at the time, she didn't know
right
all the things, but
right.
Beautifully said.
And you know what? That is her friend, you know what I mean? So like that, like for her, and it seems like she has a very high standard for the types of people that she is friends with. That like Raquel, you should have felt so guilty in that moment because this woman, Charlie, holds you with such high regard that she was willing to be that honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, I'm still gonna be your friend, but I need you to know these things. Like, that's a real one right there. That's a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like she didn't do too much. She wasn't yelling at you. She was just being blunt and honest, and just like, but I still love you.
She's like, I rode hard down in where were they? San Diego?
They were they? I thought they were in Arizona.
Arizona.
No.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Now I have no idea where they went. That feels like forever ago. Too much has happened.
I don't.
I'm like, where? Florida? I don't remember now. But she rode hard for her there, and now she's like, I can't, like, that one. I can't get on board with. You know, that was her anniversary weekend, so you like really. But Raquel's like, well, if you're wondering if we're gonna be like dating, no. It's like, okay, good. Oh, God.
But then she like goes in her confessional and then says, I mean, if he wanted to though, like, okay, bitch.
But then she goes, I'm not trying to be Debbie Desperado over here.
So now I'm like, again, because then you throw the Sandoval stuff into it. I'm like, so did you really mean that in your confessional?
Yeah.
Like, would you really date him if he was into it? Like, I'm confused. I'm like, all the lies.
Yes.
I'm like, what's the truth?
That was a good candy reference. Well done. The lies.
Thank you.
That was well done, Pia.
Thank you.
I'm going to put it in there. 31-minute mark. Add candy clip. I'm trying to do this thing where I add in the timestamp so I don't have to go through the entire episode. I can
that's
just like,
smart.
I'm attempting to cut down my editing time.
I don't know how you're still like, did you record a podcast earlier, you said?
No, I recorded one yesterday and I got behind with that because I have to edit one that has no ads in it, export that, upload that to Patreon, and then I have to go back and add in the sponsors, export that. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's
Good Lord,
lot of work. Yeah, I know. So much work. Okay, this scene at Schwartz and Sandy's, I honestly, like, when I know I throw around the word triggered a lot, this was true triggered.
I already knew you were. Like, I was watching, I was like, where's Emily? Is she okay?
I'm not. I was not.
I knew that whole scene was gonna like,
I was like, I am sweating. Like, I was not okay. Like,
I knew you weren't. I actually thought that you were gonna go like really crazy in this section. Like, I feel like you're gonna start yelling at them.
I might. Like, I'm getting sweaty just thinking about it. I'm getting hot. My face is hot. I'm turning red. Whew.
I feel bad for that GM.
Yes, you should. We all should feel so bad for poor Brett. Poor Brett, who's been at that location every single day trying to figure out how to make this kitchen function.
Yeah.
he walks up, he goes, "How was your guys' trip?" And you can tell he's so pissed about it. He's like, "Yeah, that you guys had to be gone for a week for, I don't know, however long it was."
Yeah,
and
that's
Schwartz calls it restorative. It was great. It was restorative. And he's like,
read the room, sir.
He's like, "This isn't my restaurant, by the way." Like, Brett's like, "I didn't want to make, this is your place that you guys want to open and you want to function. Okay." And Brett's like, "So the booth guy quit. I don't even know what this is. I have no idea what they're even talking about. It's probably some like art thing that they wanted to have done, or maybe like a DJ or something." He's like, "The pieces didn't fit. The machine broke." And then he quit, which I can only imagine is like something that only an expert can fix, that that like this one guy could do. And it was already some unnecessary thing that they definitely didn't need to be focusing on in order to get open.
Yeah.
And Brett already hated that he had to deal with it, because he's like, on top of everything else, this is what Sandoval gives a shit about. And Sandoval goes, "Did you offer to throw more money at him?" And Brett goes, "Absolutely fucking not."
First of all, Sandoval, whose money? What money?
Yeah, right?
You've remortgaged your home. Schwartz got divorced to sell his home. And like, somebody's about to have to lose like an organ soon. Like, this is expensive. Your overhead is too much.
A great point. What money? And then you're going to complain about how everything's costing you money.
Yeah, like your poor mom, it might lose her retirement. Like, I honestly think, now that I think about it, I don't think that they really want to open a restaurant. I think that they want to open a restaurant because they've been in the business so long as bartenders, and I don't know what the hell Schwartz wants to do it for. But I feel like they're more into interior design. Like, why don't you go fucking do that?
Such a good point. That's such a good point.
Like, that's what it's, I mean, and you know what? I mean, I think that they have interesting ideas. So like, go do that. Like, go be consultants, go be interior designers, go on HGTV. Like, I don't fucking know.
But it's not this. Running a restaurant's horrible.
Like, you keep running away from making any of the menus to fulfill what would be a restaurant.
So poor Brett is like, "So you guys pushed me into this kitchen manager." And right then I'm like, my flag goes, my hair, everything stands up. I'm like, "Oh, let me guess. They got some guy that they think is great, who's cheap, probably cheap." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I didn't interview him. I didn't get to test him the way I would test him as a GM, because I know the things that I need to get off. Okay." And he can't make a dish. He can't make the food that we have on our fucking menu. And what that means is, when a ticket comes in, he can't make the food.
That's crazy.
If we have service, he won't, no. So I'm letting him go. And then Tom pulls the, "Dude, we have to open." And Schwartz, we had a glimmer of what's to come. He goes, "Saying we have to open is utterly empty, pointless words." And I went, "Oh, so Schwartz, Tom Sandoval is ruining you."
Yeah.
You have sense. You have no ego like Tom Sandoval does. You see that it's pointless to sit here and yell at Brett and say, "We have to get open." You see that you have to actually put work in and actually have action, which is logical. And I'm shocked by that.
I never thought that Schwartz, out of the pair, would be the more business savvy or the more responsible one out of the two. You know?
Especially because Tom Sandoval, remember, was it last season where he was like, I'm the one who keeps food on Katie's table because I'm the one who keeps this brand going."
Yeah. And you know what? Tom he's just bigger personality. He's the one who's like the showman, but he doesn't really have anything to show. You know what I mean? Like, he gets this cover band where he's not really doing his music. He's doing other people's music. It's just glorified karaoke.
Yep.
Expensive karaoke.
Expensive as fuck.
And then he'll go on to another project. And then another, and he's like, he's doing a whole bunch of things, and it makes it seem like he's this big man with a band and a restaurant. He has 2 restaurants, one that's barely open.
Oh. And so Tom doesn't realize what Brett is telling him. Brett is telling you don't have a kitchen.
Yeah.
You don't have a fucking kitchen. And now Tom's like, we are fucked if we don't open. If we could serve potato chips out of there. Do you really mean that?
He does, I think.
Then do it.
I think that, like, again, I don't think they really care about making a good restaurant. They just care about having a restaurant and being cool. And, like, I just want people to come here and, like, want my autograph and a picture.
And what's ironic is that he doesn't even realize that your liquor license is contingent upon you serving fucking food. Your liquor license is typically also contingent upon a menu. Like, you have to, like, have a menu. Like, okay, I'm getting so triggered. Like, I'm getting hot again.
Did he not take any of those alcohol courses?
Tom's like, in his confessional, we are $1 million in right now. I could lose my house. My mom could lose her retirement. Well, then why did you go to Mexico?
Right. Like,
for
you guys
all those days.
They could have made that a 3-day trip. Like, you know what I mean?
At most. Maybe even 2.
I give him that extra day. I gave him an extra day.
You did.
I gave him a little extra day, but they really did not need to go for a whole week. That was really irresponsible. And then he can't be yelling at everybody else that they're not going to open on the day that they decided to tweet without anybody's consent.
That was so ridiculous.
And it makes you look stupid.
Yeah, why? Why would you do that? Because Lisa told you to?
What is Lisa
doesn't
to make
know
a
anything.
Show? Lisa's trying to make a show. She doesn't care.
Yes,
she thought it was funny. She didn't think you were going to really do it, but she was like hoping you did, and you did it.
And poor Brett is now at his wit's end. He's like, then you guys come in and work with them and do it. And I've been there. I've been there where you just want to scream at these fucking pompous, arrogant assholes who know nothing about operations, and they're just telling you make it happen, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
There's no fucking way to make it happen, Tom.
There is a way to make it happen if they would just come in every single day, all day, because that's what it requires to open a restaurant. Like, you cannot just come in once a week for a couple of hours to show face. Like, that's why nothing is getting done. They need to live there.
If you want to actually have a running, operating kitchen, then you have to, like, spend money on a good chef. And I have that kitchen sounds like a disaster. And I feel bad for Chef Frankie because he's probably part of the problem and was clearly not ready to do it.
I'm frustrated because if they just sat down and focused, they could get it open. They should have already been open.
Realizing what the issues are, it's like, wow, you guys, honestly, these are so fixable, but you guys won't just sit down and do it. Like, that's what's so sad about it.
Yeah, like, what kind of restaurant, what kind of food do you want to serve? What is the cuisine? Like, let's start there.
Get the goddamn cocktail menu in. Like, how do you not? Tom, you've run restaurants, but, like, that's how much you don't pay attention. You just care about the pretty ego stuff. Get out. Bye.
Yeah, or, like, you can also just have a small menu. There are plenty of restaurants that have a very small niche menu, and then you change it, like, every 6 months or something. I don't know.
Exactly. Or you build upon it. You have an opening menu that's very limited, and then you build on it from that.
And honestly, people would come because, yes, people are coming mostly because you have a show.
Yeah,
so just
honestly.
Get, like, 5 really cool dishes.
That's it.
And then all your fucking weird shark drinks, and open it up. Damn it.
God. And then after the fight, Schwartz is like, hey, guys, and does, like, the hand thing. So they start laughing, and then Brett suggests a shot. And I'm like, and that's the problem, because
they already got that poor bartender fired.
Yeah.
And they're the one who gave him the shot. Remember?
Yeah, right?
Like, that's so unfair.
Yeah. So I made the mistake of asking a friend of mine who I found out is a bit of a hypochondriac about something that's been bothering me health-wise. And she took me down some very scary paths. So found out you are extremely unlikely to find quality medical advice from a friend, but you can find it from a doctor on ZocDoc. Thousands of medical professionals on ZocDoc are there to help you. They listen like a friend, but they give you the expert care that you need. ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient-reviewed take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun. You know, when you're not feeling your best and you are just trying to hold it together, finding great care shouldn't take up all of your energy. But that is where ZocDoc comes in. Using their free app that millions of users rely on, you can find the right doctor that meets your needs and fits your schedule. You can book an appointment with just a few taps in their app and start feeling better faster with ZocDoc. Go to ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. ZocDoc.com/SheSpeaks. And then we get another Tom scene right after this where Tom and Ariana's house, Katie comes over to do like the sandwiches. And this scene, I also made a reaction video to this one, but I opted for the one at Sir because this one though killed me. Because Sandoval, first of all, why can't he make eye contact with anybody? It's because he's lying. He's full of lies. He's full of them.
Full of lies. He is a liar.
He's such a liar. But I love that they get to rub in his face that they've signed a lease. They paid their deposit. They paid the previous owner the buyout for everything in the kitchen. And he's like, yeah, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of how small the location is. There's no partners. There's low rent. Yeah, I'm jealous. I'm like, ha! Sucker.
Yeah, no, they really did do it right, Katie and Ariana. Like, it's just perfect. It's just like a nice little, like they're not trying to do too much. It's just sometimes simple is better.
Mm-hmm. Simple's better.
Simple's better.
And what you think, if you want to think long term, second location. That's what you start to think.
Right.
You start small and then you go, we've got so much profit from our first modest location, we can do a second one, baby.
Yeah, no, honestly, oh my God, I can just see it. Oh God, you got me excited, Emily.
Bring it over here to the valley, easy breezy. We bring it to the valley next, then go to the west side.
Yeah, I'm honestly so happy though that this Sandoval happened before they got too far into their sandwich shop, because Sandoval was going to try to weasel his way in there somehow. As much as he was mad about Katie doing that, he would have tried to like put his like, you know what, you guys need a little mixologist over here. Like he'd do some crazy shit.
So Katie tells the story of seeing Schwartz and how she didn't give him any attention. And here comes Sandoval. He's like, so is the reason you're like not cool because of, what happened with Schwartz and Raquel? And she's like, yeah. And here he comes with his looking everywhere but at them because he's shifty and he's full of his lies. And he's like, well, I mean, like, why was it even a big deal? It's just two good looking people who like made out with each other in Mexico.
No.
And we're like, oh, okay, we get it. We know that you and your thing that you did, so you're just trying to somehow, like, just sit this one out, okay? Wrong audience. But you think you're going to sway her into thinking the way you want her to?
I know, like, this whole conversation was just him trying to lay foundation for us and the group that it is okay when you part ways from your partner to still date within the group, because in his big fucking master plan, when he somehow breaks up with Ariana and he starts dating Raquel, he wants everyone to be on board with it. So he has to set the precedent now that it's okay to date within the friend group.
Yes,
because Katie's ruining it for him now.
Oh
Katie's actually ruining his plan.
You're so right. He's like, don't you guys think it's totally fair that we would date people in a friend group after you break up? Like, don't you guys think? Let me break down why it's fair. It's like,
he's and that's why he's so mad at Katie. Honestly, he's like, Katie, you're a fucking me up yet again. I love that Katie is always just putting a wrench in whatever fucking Tom Sandoval has. She doesn't even know she's doing
that
it.
That is a through line.
She's so good. Oh, Katie, MVP of the episode.
even throughout the whole series, I'm thinking about it like last season when she fights with him and because that's when he's saying his stupid thing like, I put food on your table because I keep this brand running. And she gets in that huge fight with him like, listen to my husband's fucking ideas.
Yeah.
And he's like, whatever, Katie, stay out of it. She's never let Tom be Tom and like do the Sandoval thing.
Even if you want to go far back at season 3, when he scurried away in the Uber from Miami Girl when she came to the bar, Katie was like, listen, I'm not saying it happened, but it does seem as if something happened the way he fled the scene. I'm like, she was the first person to say that. I was like, Katie.
Yeah. Yeah. Katie goes, it's the aftermath. And he's like, what aftermath? Okay, we're done here. But then Katie goes, she's a whore. And they both, like, even Ariana's like, she's not a whore. I'm like, oh, okay, well, this will come back later.
I know, it always kills me because, okay, like, Katie, of course, is upset with, Raquel, and she's calling her a whore, whatever. And anytime any of the girls say anything negative about Raquel, there is Ariana to be like, let's be fair. Like, I understand you don't like her, but like, let's not call her things that she's not. Mm-hmm. And she is. She's a fucking dirty scoundrel because she is she is a dirty scoundrel sleeping like.
Yes,
this woman is constantly protecting you and defending you, and what do? You repay her by sleeping with her boyfriend, her essentially common law husband. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you? Then Katie says, I mean, look, Tom has also had a habit of sticking his tongue where it doesn't belong, so this shouldn't be that shocking or surprising to me, I guess. And Tom goes, yeah, it shouldn't. Excuse me, sir.
I know, like, what is wrong with him?
What are you doing? Watch it. But Ariana goes, they made a deal. They made a deal. And Katie's like, in her confessional, she says, we both agreed to this. Like, both of us. So
yeah, I
try to forgive, but I'm not going to betray myself anymore.
Damn,
yes,
Katie.
Queen.
Self-worth. I love it. I love a queen with a self-worth.
Yes.
Yeah, and also I do want to point out, because I feel like I saw some comments from people, not a lot, but of people saying that, like, oh, Ariana was, defending Raquel a lot during this season, didn't really have Katie's back. I don't have that take. I don't have that take at all. I actually thought that Ariana did a beautiful job navigating being both Raquel and Katie's friend, and being fair. Agreed. Like, in that same conversation, she's defending Raquel, like, saying, like, she's not a whore. Don't call her that. And then also in this next breath defending Katie against Tom and saying they had an agreement. She is justified for being upset.
Agreed.
Stop gaslighting her.
Agreed. Katie goes, I've been very respectful in my dealings. And I think what she meant here was that she hasn't been bringing guys on camera and hasn't been like flaunting it. But Sandoval is meaning something else. So he's like, I think you have for the most part. Like, so he's not allowed to have any other friends, any other girlfriends. And he brings up Joe, knowing full well who Joe is, what Joe did, knowing it was shady, and bringing it up on camera saying, Joe called me crying, saying Katie's leaving me messages. I'm like, oh, that was some slander right there. And you know what you did. You know what you're doing by only saying that part of the story.
Yeah.
And making it seem like Joe is, like, you're not painting the picture of who Joe is.
Right. Yeah. Because, if you're not like us and we're like, we digging up stuff and we know all the background, and you're just watching that episode, you're like, well, that now it sounds like Katie's being a hypocrite because she was saying not the friend group and we don't know who this Joe is. So it's seeming like, Schwartz went out and met another person named Joe and started dating her. And that's not the case.
Thank God Ariana was there to be like, no, it was because they were secretive about it. Like, Ariana probably was like, why are you bringing up Joe? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, like, because she's like, what's up. Like, that was weird.
Yeah. And then Katie's confessional, Joe was Kristen Doty's crazy friend. And if you're Kristen Doty's crazy friend, that says a lot about you.
Yeah.
And yeah, even we said that. Like when Katie commented on someone's thing, like, that was Kristen's crazy friend. We were like, Kristen's crazy friend. Like,
yeah, like that's
a
like
bar
scary.
that I didn't know existed.
And yeah. Whew,
and I think even Kristen Doty would be like, yeah, if you're my crazy friend, like that says a lot. Because Kristen's pretty self-aware now, but she would be like, what? But as we said already, Katie said Joe texted her, she loves and respects me. And then she moves in with Schwartz. 2 seconds later, she goes, yeah, she's that kind of bitch. Okay.
Yeah. And
that's who Sandoval's trying to use on camera as like some example of how Katie's being unfair.
Yeah.
That was shady and dirty and nasty and gross. And he's disgusting.
It's weird. And it's like, and we tried to give like the whole Joe thing some grace because, you know, we're like, whatever, it's not a direct friend. But then, you know, she inserted herself and like, it's like, then there's no need for you to then like text Katie this whole long thing about how you're here for her and all this stuff and then go move. Like that's a really weird next step.
Yeah.
Like, why don't these people like find? No one asked you to text her.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know. Like, if you had just not done that, like, I could just be like, well, like, you know, whatever. Yeah. That wasn't Katie's friend. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I could justify the girl's actions potentially. The text message makes it weird.
Yeah, exactly. Why go out of your way to do that and then move in? Like
that's like, why did you need to do? I don't understand.
Why did you? Why that step? You could have omitted that step. You could have just skipped it. Okay. Sandoval's really trying to paint a narrative that's not accurate. Like he's like, I feel like there needs to be some kind of separation. I'm like, have you missed the part where Katie's not really talking to Schwartz anymore? Like she knows she's done. Okay. What are you doing, Tom?
Yeah, that's because Tom wanted Schwartz to be the person to ice Katie out, and he doesn't like that it's the other way around.
Yes. And so Katie goes, we decided this together. He's the one who fucked up. And Sandoval interrupts and goes, I feel like you decided it, and he agreed. So here's what happens. You're manipulating Schwartz into thinking Katie's manipulating him.
Right.
Okay?
And he's always been doing, that's what he,
always.
Again, like, I think that they had a lot of other problems in the relationship, but I definitely think Sandoval was a big component in how they were never able to fully, like,
get on the same page.
And grow. Yeah. He was always a saboteur of the relationship.
I like that Ariana steps in and says, well, you know, because she's like, he's the one who wanted to be friends. And Tom's like, well, yeah, I mean about like, you know, dating within the friend group. And Ariana goes, well, she's allowed to have a decision that she makes for herself. It was so like pragmatic.
Yeah.
She's like, what is your point? Like, so she set her own boundary. How about that? Like, worst case scenario, she set that. What's your point, Tom?
Right. And that, you know what? That's his problem, because that's to go back to his Howie Mandel interview when he's like, well, Ariana said that she would quit the show and then move away and fuck the sandwich shop and stuff like that. And like, that's just not fair. I'm like, okay, if she said that. If she said that. But it's like, Tom, so what? If you break up with her and she decides to do all that, she can.
She can do whatever she wants.
You can't control how someone reacts if you do that. Like, you can't make her stay on the show.
Yeah.
Like, that's not your decision.
He's so controlling of everybody.
That's his big issue. Like, he needs to, like, control every aspect of things.
Yeah. But Katie says it perfectly. She says, if he really wants to go around fucking his friends, then he doesn't get my friendship. And that is it. Period. Done. And for anyone who doesn't understand that, may God have mercy on your soul. And I hope no one does that to you.
That line was is this a novel? Because the foreshadowing on this shit is crazy.
Yeah. Because honestly, she's like, yeah, Schwartz can do whatever he wants now, but I'm taking away any kind of pros that he gets from our dynamic. I'm not going to listen to him. I'm not going to be there for him because he does get that. He wants that. He didn't want to lose that aspect, but he's not going to get that too. He doesn't get anything.
Yeah, it's like, how do you expect to get all of the pros and you just are continuously disrespecting her? And it's not even just with the dating stuff. That's just one element of it. It's the way he speaks to her, the way he speaks about her, the way he speaks down to her.
Mm-hmm.
There's just so many things we can say that makes him not deserving of her friendship at all.
Exactly. So bye.
All
right, now we go to see you next Tuesday at Sir. Lisa comes in, and it's very interesting to me, this very small moment of what's going to be a huge thing. But she sees the Toms, and she goes, "Oh, what are you guys doing here? You don't really come in here too often." And Schwartz looks awkward. He's like, "We come in here when we and I feel like he's like, "We came in here to see Raquel." Like, that's what we came in here to do. And enter Raquel. And they input dialogue in this that was not from this scene.
Oh.
It was that you don't see their mouths saying this, but they input Raquel being like, "Yeah, like I don't see like dating you," and then Schwartz being like, "I love chatting with you though." They did not say that in that moment at all, whatsoever. Which is like, why? They don't need to say that. But then Tom creepily goes, "Raquel, get over here. Get over here."
Creepy.
Right in front of Lisa. Lisa's actually pissed because she's like, she goes, "She's working. Like, don't." And Raquel doesn't realize that Lisa's mad that she's like fraternizing, basically. She's like, "Stay professional." But Raquel's too oblivious to realize that. She's like, "I'm going to get in trouble." And I heard Lisa go, "Yeah, with me." She's like, "Well, hurry up, take the order." And then Raquel's like, "Okay, what do you guys want?" Like, she doesn't really want to actually do her job. But then as Raquel, I don't know, Raquel might be taking an order. I wasn't paying attention because Lisa goes, "Why do you have such a big smile on your face?" to Tom. And that
Sandoval?
was chill. Yeah, that was chilling. You saw that, right?
I did. I know. I did see that. I'm like,
But then he goes, "What?" And then he looks like proud of himself for having the smile on his face. He gets like cocky about it. Like it looked predatory.
He honestly, now that the mask is come off, like it's really hard to unsee some of like his scary personality traits.
Yeah, no, he looked like he was like it was really, really gross. So then Raquel's like, "Have you guys talked to Katie?" And I swear Tom can't wait to tell her what Katie said, but he adds Katie didn't call her a little whore. When he adds that, he called you a little fucking whore. I'm like, she called her a whore.
Yeah.
When you put a little fucking whore in front of it, it kind of sexualizes it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it does. That's a good point.
Well, someone mentioned it in the comments, and I thought about it more and more, and I was like, oh, God.
Ew. Oh, no.
Ew. It's like, she called you a whore is different than she called you a little fucking whore.
I feel like he was getting off on that.
He was. He was smiling.
Gross. It's just gross. It's gross behavior. It's so, ugh.
He was smiling. So then Raquel's confessional is like, "I'm always trying to grow and be a better version of what I was." I'm like, girl, you are being misled. You are being grossly. That's what I'm saying. She really could be in a cult. Because I swear Tom Sandoval is like her leader right now.
I mean, honestly, I really buy into that. I'm not trying to, I don't want to be mean, but like, I really do feel like she's under some type of like spell.
She feels so lost and like she's just following whatever guidance, like the way Scheana was like just guiding her. She's like, okay. And then she became like a mini Scheana. Now Tom is guiding her and she's like doing whatever Tom tells her to do.
I feel like most of the stuff I've heard out of her mouth this season sounds like something Sandoval would say. Mm-hmm. Like the boundaries. Like she's like a puppet. She's just...
Raquel's like kissing because then fucking Lisa's like, why would you say that to her? Like, why would you fucking say that to her in the middle of her shift?
Yeah.
That's not cool. And so Raquel's like kissing people makes you a whore, and that is rich, girl. That line, I'm like, listen. You know what you've done, and at this point, this is where the victimizing of yourself pisses me the fuck off. Because you know what you've done at this point.
Yeah, that's why it's just so crazy.
Knowing what we know.
Yeah, knowing what we know, and then seeing her in that scene. I'm like,
and Tom and Raquel are eyeing each other. Like, they're giving each other eyes. Yeah. Like, lovingly, sexually looking at each other.
I feel like Raquel, when they were having that weird exchange of what Katie said, like, she expected Lisa to come into her defense. Like Katie called me a whore.
Yeah.
She kept on saying it. Like, and then, like, but kiss it. Like, she was like she wanted Lisa to be like, that was bad what Katie said. I'm like, and I don't think that Lisa, like, thinks that Raquel's a whore at least at this point. But, like, she's, like, I can also, she probably understands how Katie might.
At this point.
Like, well, I mean.
I know you didn't mean that shady, but it just was funny.
But I didn't. But I mean, like, I don't understand why she doesn't Lisa also has a very long history with Katie, and she could completely understand why Katie would be upset in the moment. Say something
Vegas. They talked in Vegas about how she shouldn't do it. So
that is true. I forgot that Lisa was there when they had that whole thing. Like,
and she was like, "What?"
So no. I mean, I feel like Lisa at this point is like, "Well, you're lucky. That's all she called you." Like, that's that's probably what Lisa's like demeanor is right now. It's like, you're like, she calling you a whore, you're getting off pretty easy. Like,
and she's more like mad that Tom said it now. Like, she's like, did you have to tell her when she's in the middle of work?
Yeah, like, she doesn't want her feelings to be hurt, but she's also like, I don't know what else you expect from me. Like, we all talked to you about this, and now here we are.
Yeah, because Tom keeps going. Tom, like, keeps saying all the rest of the things that Katie said, you know, like, oh, does Schwartz going to go fucking everyone in the group? And then Raquel's, like, stuck on it. And so she's like, I'm going to go put this order in. And Lisa's like, you've probably really upset her now. And Tom acts surprised. Tom's like, oh, what? I did? So he calls her back over. And when Raquel's telling him that she didn't appreciate being called a whore, he's like enjoying it. He's got a little smile on his face.
I until you started like painting this picture, I didn't even see it when I watched it, but I feel like you're right. He's like grooming her
because now he's like her savior.
Yes.
Now he's he even says no one's got her back, but I do. Like, I'm the one. Like, don't you like? He loves
broke her down to build her up. That is such an abusive trait. Like, that is like what people do. Like, that's why they stay with their abusers.
Yeah.
They're like, they make them think that they're the only person that can protect them, and they're the ones that are like beating them down. Like, but like, look, I can heal you. I can heal you.
Yes. And so she looks pained, and they're making real hard eye contact. She looks pained, but she also looks like she feels seen by him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Lisa over to Schwartz. Lisa's like, do you not get any of the blame? You've got to take some responsibility. And Schwartz is laughing. He thinks it's so funny because he knows there is no equivalent punishment for men when it comes to this.
Right.
So he's going to get off just fine. Just fine. And that's gross to me.
And also, like, again, knowing what we know now, he's like, I don't even know why this is a big deal, because I don't like her. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like, he has, like, this girl is so upset that she's been called, like, a whore. And I don't think he even, like, once said there to Raquel in that moment. And he's the reason why she's been called the whore. Like, he not even like in a friendly way could be like, I'm sorry that
compassion. None
at all.
No
Honestly,
comfort.
Be careful dating that man, because Like, he don't
Like,
treat
that's
women right.
that's crazy insensitive. Like, he used her to get back at Katie, admittedly.
Yeah.
And now here she is feeling upset about it. She's been called a whore, and he's laughing at how upset she is.
Yeah, and I mean,
laughing.
Laughing, and he's essentially kind of like
The reason.
dismissed her also, like made her, embarrassed her,
high-fived her,
like got her all riled up, like we're gonna do this like spiteful thing to Katie, and then kind of was like high five, like
bye,
never liked you, never would date you, like kind of pulled a little switcheroo on her last second there.
Then Tom to Raquel is like, I mean, to me, it's just, like a eye roll. It's a laugh. Fuck you for mansplaining this. Fuck you for explaining to her how she should experience this whole thing. You will never know what it's like to be a woman in this equation because you're a man. But you had to mansplain it to her. I hate mansplaining. I hate it with a passion.
Yeah.
It's so fucking annoying. I hate being mansplained. Ugh.
I just feel like I'm like looking at this scene. It's like you can do a character study on this scene, like or like a clinical study, something. Because I'm just looking at it. I took it as very surface when I first watched it, and now like kind of peeling back the layers. I'm like, I almost feel like when I think she was genuinely upset by being called a whore. I almost feel like, was that you, Rachel? Like, is that like really like, I feel like she kind of like came out of it for a second. Like, what am I doing? But then
there are a few of these moments, even with Oliver, I think.
That when we
Pia doesn't agree.
I don't know. I might change my mind. Right now I don't agree, but like again, when we start like really dissecting these things, like you start seeing it in different ways. Like I'm seeing this whole scene completely different than when I first saw it. So maybe I will get to where you are, but right now, no.
Okay. Tom's confessional is so manipulative. He goes, I feel bad that Raquel is reacting this way, but I think she should know what people are saying about her. Why? Why do you think that? Because you want to control her mind. You want to control her fucking mind.
Yeah, he's like, honestly, I think he's definitely worse than Jax.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%.
Oh, like just so much worse. That's like what's scary about it. Like you didn't think it could get any worse than Jax and then Sandoval.
And then here's this line. I feel like Raquel doesn't have a lot of people in her corner, and she's a really sweet girl. She doesn't have a bad bone in her body. I can manipulate her. She's my best victim yet. Like, boom.
God, I'm like scared. Like you're like, I feel like I'm watching like
the beginning of something terrifying,
like a documentary.
Yes,
on cults now.
No, like he actually is a cult leader. Like he's
he
giving
would
me
totally
he's
try
giving
to
me
start
like
a
Jared
cult.
Leto vibes.
Yeah, he would totally try to start a cult like that. He absolutely would
And-
do that. I
and
wouldn't
they
be
all
surprised.
they wear like the makeup he wears on his and like all that shit.
And they get branded with the like
Yeah.
lightning bolts.
100%. They all have to sing his songs.
They all have to get those strobe lights.
Yep. All of
The
it.
galaxy lights.
The galaxy lights.
The galaxy lights. That's like a mandatory.
They all
thing.
have to shroom all the time.
Shrooming all the time.
All the time. It's a sex cult for sure.
Oh,
100%.
for sure. But
Absolutely. He's the only one that can have sex with everyone.
Just like every cult leader.
Every cult leader. He's such a cult leader. Tom is a cult leader. That is the name of this episode. Tom is a cult leader. So Tom.
Do you have to say allegedly?
Nope, because it's not true.
Or is it?
Or is it? You've heard it here first.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Lala's apartment, pretty innocuous scene. It's just a setup for them to say that Lala's having a birthday party, and Katie will be bringing Satchel. Okay. They show a little clip of Satchel. Okay. I'm going to say it. When I see his face, all I think is pointy penis.
Whoa. I did not see that coming. But that's pretty accurate.
And I just see it. Her standards are so low at this point. She's like just, someone who's not a fat drunk idiot.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm sure that
Get it,
kid
girl.
is like giving her like he's young. He's like, he's probably just like doing everything, like worshiping her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? We love that for her. Get it.
I mean, yeah. Like, I mean, this is not your end guy though.
End guy, no,
not end guy, but like absolutely have fun guy
at all. Okay, the Toms go to Villa Rosa, and Rose, the horse has passed away, little tiny baby horse.
Oh, I know. Oh, so sad about it.
I have to say though, I thought it was really amazing that for dramatic effect, she had them greet her in like the dark screening room for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
And then she's like, let's go upstairs. Like, they could have just met you upstairs, but she wanted it to be like somber at first, then go upstairs. So forever a drama queen, and I live. But
I wonder if Rinna reached out. She did help her get those ponies.
Wait, she helped her get the remember she went to get the like lame pony that they didn't end up getting?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yeah, they went and like the pony was like kind of fat and had a bad leg. Yeah, so that's the one that Rinna went with her for. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, so the Toms, this is very them. They keep insisting that they needed this Mexico trip. Schwartz goes, it's not like we were skirting responsibility being young hooligans. Now, that's exactly what you were doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's like, can we
literally
rewind the footage? That's all you guys did.
That's you guys, and actually you didn't really get any rejuvenation. It was nothing but drama. It was debauchery. Like, don't act like you got rest or anything.
Like, he was like, Sandoval was like hung over for like one full day.
One full day. He didn't wake up till like 3 p.m. So please. But Sandoval blames Brett and Greg. He's like, they fired our chef. And with that, we lost the whole kitchen staff. It's like, you think that they would purposely do these things to fuck you guys? Like, they want to get open too. Their name is attached to this.
Yeah, I mean, I was putting a lot of blame on Greg early on.
Yeah, take it all back. We take it all back.
Yeah, now that I've gotten the details, I've been fully briefed. Completely understand why Greg is like, no.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And maybe if they spent, again, like, I'm sorry to harp on it, just more time there, Greg would say, go ahead, open. And
then also, this scene turns into it's all Tom Sandoval's fault, I'm realizing. Because Schwartz has nothing left in him for this. Yeah. Because Schwartz clearly knows more about what's going on. Schwartz is like, oh, the freezer might not be ready by then. And Tom is like, well, just buy a new one. I'm tired of the nickel and diming.
Where are you getting this money, Sandoval? Like,
whose money? Like Pia said, whose money are you spending?
Like, whose money, though?
Like, the only reason owners nickel and dime is because it's their money.
Yeah, like, he just keeps on saying, like, okay, I need to see his expense report.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's good with money.
No, he's clearly not. He's clearly deeply in debt, like beyond possible, beyond comprehension.
I feel like when he says, because I'm really trying to think, like, where are you getting this money? I feel like every time he says it, he's like already spending like future Vanderpump Rules checks. He's like, that's gonna be
and you know, look, as someone who is horrible with money right here, I'm horrible with money. That's why I don't open a restaurant, okay? Because I wouldn't be able to do it. So listen, fucker,
it's a money pit. Like,
yes,
like, you're not gonna make it. Most restaurants fail, and then if it doesn't fail, you will not see a profit for like 5 years, probably. That's like if you're lucky.
Schwartz seems to know, though. Like, he seems to know. He's like, they've ordered the necessary part for the freezer. And Tom's like, let's just fucking open. And Schwartz is done. He goes, I know, but Tom, that's all you do is huff and puff. It doesn't matter how loud you say that. You don't back it up with your actions and your effort.
Damn.
I lived. But Lisa's like, well, that's a very big accusation. And I'm like, well, bitch, get involved. Get in the mix. Let this happen, please. Like, don't shut it down. Let them fight. But she was like not having it. It was kind of confusing.
I know. Sometimes, like, remember we talked about this in season 3? Like,
Yes.
she wasn't like allowing at the reunion. Tom
Sandoval to submit some evidence.
Yeah. What is it always with Sandoval?
Yeah.
No.
Why is it with? A pattern.
Now I need you to say that all the time. Oh, like we're like
a pattern.
Like every time we give the viewers like a new clue, like, oh, a pattern.
That was so stupid.
It was so good. No, I loved it. Please. I'm living for that. That's gonna be merch now. Oh, a pattern.
A pattern.
Speaking of merch, I meant to ask you, you should do turbans.
I should. Head wraps.
I thought about that in the shower, and I meant, but with my ADHD, I forgot to tell you about it, so had to get it in real quick.
So good.
Turbans, maybe sunglasses. I also thought about that.
I would love to partner up with like a sunglasses brand, because like when it comes to merch, it's usually like some you just source them from some
right.
crappy place, but like I would love to like partner up with like a sunglasses brand that are like she speaks Bravo for sure. Dreams, those are dreams for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. But the merch, it's almost done. We've got it. I'll send you some pics, Pia, so you can see what we're working on.
Again, I'm wearing my merch from Vanderpump.
What's the quality of the sweatshirt like?
It's good. I wash it every week. And it's still holding up.
Is it soft?
It is soft. It is comfortable. I do wish I did get a bigger size, because I do like my
I like an oversized.
Yeah, I like an oversized, but this is nice, and it fits
What size
very
did
well.
you get?
I think I got I either got a small or medium, but I should have got. I next time I get some, I'm gonna get a large size. I like it baggy, oversized.
Yeah,
comfy.
that's how I like it too.
This is comfy though.
So Schwartz gives an example of, the example is scathing. He's like when you were supposed to submit a menu and you went to band practice and during the day you got your nails done.
I know we're mad at Sandoval, but his confessional, like when he said, like, I'm not gonna go around with grubby nails.
He knew he was kidding, right? Like he was kidding, right?
He definitely wasn't kidding.
Oh God,
I don't think he was kidding, but
I couldn't tell.
I feel like it was like a half kid.
Was he okay?
I think it was a half kid.
I think he was a half kidding, because like that says everything. Because like when you're doing an opening, you look a mess. Like you're a disaster. Like your skin's falling apart. You haven't had time to do shit. Like, yeah, your nails are gonna take the polish off, my friend, and just go with nothing. Okay?
He's making this nail polish his whole personality. And
it's really annoying. And it's like it's very distracting, buddy. Like I don't. It's like get rid of it.
Making it a whole I'm fine. I'm fine with the nail polish, but like he's making it like he invented wearing nail polish. He invented it. And I'm over it.
Yeah, we're moving along. But now Sandoval stands up and his veins are like popping out of every single crevice. And he's like, the real issue is that we've been ready to pull the trigger and there's one person who keeps pulling the e-brake. And now Lisa's like, you're giving me so much anxiety.
Lisa and her dynasty acting.
Yes. But I think she tells Tom to leave so that she can talk to Schwartz. I couldn't quite hear it, but I was like, did she tell Tom to leave so she can talk to him? Like,
I don't know. I didn't catch it.
I think she did. And I'm like, what? Talk to him about what?
Yeah.
And I would like to point out that Tom has been in every single scene except for Lala's apartment, pretty much.
Sandoval, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty much been in like every scene. Because then even the next scene is Tom and Ariana's place where he talks about how he's got to he's like, hey, yeah, so when am I going to make my deposit? I'm going to start my healthy lifestyle. Isn't it interesting that on the Howie Mandel interview,
thank you,
he said, he was like, what? She's like, oh yeah, you're gonna go do your sperm deposit, and I was like, what are you talking about? We broke up.
It's interesting that he doesn't mention that at all. Like, you know what I mean? It seems like he's so twisting like history
Timelines and things. Yes.
to make himself look good. Because it's like I caught that too. I'm like, so anywhere in this conversation is he going to say, I think it's weird that we do this, seeing that he had such a passion that he said that to her on the Howie Mandel show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I when he's in last season's reunion, how Andy asked, like, have you thought about whatever he says with the embryos? And Tom was like, I don't remember you telling me to go do that. I'm gonna go do it right now or something. And then he has this resentment here where he's like, why would we fertilize these embryos? Sorry if I'm using the wrong terminology. Why would we fertilize these embryos? Because, she might want to do it one day if she wants to do it.
Yeah.
If Tom Sandoval does not have a kid with the next woman he's with, whether it be Raquel or the next person, then this is just some shitty control thing he holds over her head to make her feel bad.
Yeah, and I'm now that we're peeling back layers and we're getting deeper and deeper into this. Because I was like the one who was like, oh, maybe I believed him, and you didn't.
Yeah, it's always felt manipulative.
And now I'm really, I think Howie Mandel was the last thing. I was like, if there was any, I don't believe you. Now I don't believe that he ever really cared about having kids. And it was just something to be like, you're doing this to me. Feel sorry for me. I'm a victim.
Yes. Do you see? She won't give it to me. She won't
look at
give
me. I'm
what
the stand-up guy. I've compromised to be with the person that I loved. And
yes, I've sacrificed this. But then he's like, he's telling her, I really need to blow off steam though, Ariana. Like, it's really hard for me. Basically saying I want to be able to drink. Like, you're asking me not to drink for 5 whole days. And she goes, well, we got to work on some healthier coping mechanisms. And it's interesting because at the Howie Mandel interview, he said it was on did he say day 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Of not drinking. And he's like, I feel so much better. Interesting, buddy.
Interesting.
And it's, I'm sure their lives are so filled with alcohol. And I've heard people who've gone into Schwartz and Sandy's who've seen the crew there and they're all fucked up, like wasted. And they just probably live like that all the time. So it's not surprising that even a little bit of sobriety would make him like, oh, wow, is this what life looks like? Like, oh, my brain can think and function. Well, probably why they wanted to go to Miraval.
Well, yeah, the problem would be that he, unbeknownst to Ariana, he's hanging around people that wouldn't work if him being sober for that many days, even though that's not a long time. But he's not going to stop hanging out with the people he's been hanging out with, and they're all drinking. Yeah.
Then they get into Tom. This just feels like he's laying groundwork a little bit for narrative's sake. Whether or not it's correct or accurate to what's going on, and whether or not Ariana's not used to having these conversations on camera. I think it's maybe a little bit of both. Maybe Ariana's not used to them filming fights between them.
Right.
And she's a little thrown off by it. And I'll leave I make room for that. Ariana has been pretty guarded on this show for many seasons. We haven't seen them fighting much except for the scene where they got in that huge fight.
Yes.
The season where Jax cheats on Brittany.
Yes.
Or she's like, it's not on my phone.
Yeah, that was such a good fight.
It was a really
slammed
good
that.
fight.
I felt that door shake when she slammed that door. I will say that they did have another fight when it wasn't a fight. It was just her not agreeing with him when she called him
obtuse?
Was that what she called obtuse?
That was the same fight.
Oh, or was it when he was saying the cis stuff? Like he was like he didn't know how to say cisgender or cis male or something.
Yeah, like they've had disagreements. Like it's not like they've perfectly got along,
right?
But maybe this is just him trying to act as if, and the Howie Mandel interview I'm talking about, she's just been. They've only shown the perfection of their relationship.
Right.
She's been honest. It's not like she's let him look a fool and been like, I love everything you're saying. She's she's held her ground for sure.
Right. I mean, I feel like it's rich for him to choose this narrative of like they decided like, and I'm not saying that they didn't try to protect, the sanctity of their relationship. I think I would do the same thing. But like, I remember when Jax kept saying that they did that, and he was just like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. But now that it's convenient for him to be like, we were doing that, he's like practically saying what Jax said on the last reunion that Jax ever participated in.
Exactly. But now Tom goes, it feels like for the past few months, I'll explain my point of view, and it feels like you're very quick to take the other person's side. It makes me feel like you question my intelligence or you think I'm an idiot. And I'm not getting the vibe from Ariana in this, like she's lying or she's being insincere. I think that what she's thinking is she's like, we're just having conversations and I'm just not saying like, yes, everything you say is perfect. And it feels to me, the vibe I'm getting from him in this scene is that he's just trying to lay groundwork on camera. Like, see, we're not so perfect.
That is exactly my take on it too. I felt like she didn't know why he was saying this, and she was genuinely trying to like be like, Tom, like, it's okay, like we don't have to agree on everything.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't mean like I think you're stupid or an idiot. Like, what do you mean? Like, you don't have to agree with every single person just because we're together, on every point. I also feel like he's talking about the previous scene with how she was contradicting him with Katie a little bit too.
Probably. And deep down, Ariana does not like Tom anymore, but she doesn't know how to admit that to herself.
Yeah.
It's like you get into a situation where you've defended the relationship so much, like to get with Tom, like to be with Tom required so much defending and protecting that it's like you hold on to it and you stay with it because you're codependent at that point. But like you don't even really like Tom anymore. I don't think she does. I think she's like, I don't even want to be like, hello, he's misogynistic. She's the furthest thing from it.
I mean, before this all came out, we both agreed that we thought that they should go their separate ways before the whole Raquel of it all happened.
Totally.
And it's because we've seen the cracks in it. And it's the thing is, again, Tom, no one is mad that you wanted to break up. We're mad at how you did it.
Like, stop acting like you're like when he did the Howie Mandel thing, it's like, you're not informing us of something we didn't know. You're not informing us that your relationship was in a bad place. And we're like, what?
Yeah.
It was. We're aware. We're pissed that you did it like that, did it so dirty, lied to everybody. And now you're acting like you're the victim. That's what we're mad about.
Right. And yeah, it's super simple. I don't know why he's having a hard time with this. Like he thinks that it's just being unhappy in a relationship is not a justification on what you did. Having an 8-month affair with a friend of hers, flaunting it in her face unbeknownst to her. Like, it's creepy, weird, and sadistic. Like, just be normal and say, hey, I think we should break up. Like, even though you're claiming like you did, it's like, no, whenever Howie asked if you did, you'd be like, well, I was pulling away a lot. That's just not the fucking same thing, dude. Yeah, that interview when like Howie had to ask him like 3 times before he got a straight answer out of him, and it's like, that's not.
And then you said hypothetically. I said hypothetically, what would you do if we broke up? And I'm like, well, then she gave you a hypothetical answer, you idiot.
Yeah, like
get the fuck out of here.
He thinks he's so much smarter than everybody. It's pathetic.
It's insulting to us, okay, asshole. All right, we go to Pump. This Lisa Garcelle Oliver scene, I was like, oh, this isn't good.
I'm mad Garcelle agreed to do this.
Me too. Also, they complain about how hot it is, but they're literally both in pantsuits.
It's true.
They're like, God, it's hot. I'm like, okay, have you heard of sundresses?
Yeah. I'm just really hoping, because I'm a Garcelle stan, and like I'm really hoping this doesn't come to haunt her on her season. Because
her son looks terrible.
That's what I'm saying. Her son looks terrible.
Exactly.
Because he is. Fucked. And it kind of feels like she's co-signing, because or she's corroborating. That's how you say it.
That's a hard word.
Yeah, it's hard. Sorry, y'all know what I was trying to say. But his story, because it's like he says we are separated. Like he really wanted to make it clear.
Well, I don't think she knew that Oliver was still fucking the ex. I'm going to go with that, because Oliver can tell his mama, no, I got my own place. I got my own apartment. We're separating, but he's not going to tell his mama. Sometimes when I go back to the house to see my son, I fuck her. So yeah, I'm going to, let's blame it purely on Oliver not being honest with his mom.
Yes, I would like to do that.
Yeah, I think that's better.
I would like to do that. I would like to do that.
And that Garcelle can be like, well, apparently my son doesn't tell me everything.
Yeah. I feel like she probably talked to him. She's not going to do it on camera, but she's probably like, you better get your shit together. She really needs to bring him in, because him making going out of his way. Yeah, he's pissing me off.
Why are you in there? You didn't need to say a word.
And also, after we see how everything plays out with you and Raquel in this episode, I don't even know why you wanted to put yourself in it. You already looked crazy in this episode. It's embarrassing what happened to you in this episode.
Yes.
What you did,
what you did to yourself. Why'd you even want to go on film this scene?
Because he really, really thought that he could talk his way out of that and convince her that he was in the right and that that his wife is crazy. But he didn't know his wife was going to call her.
He did not anticipate that.
He did not. He was like, damn. I saw on his face. He was like, oh.
He's like, oh, she did? Oh, okay.
He's like, well, I guess this is over.
Yeah. James and Allie. This is where Allie tells us that she's like, so, AKA after cameras were down, I mentioned at Lala's that I saw Tom and Raquel at the Abbey at 1 a.m. dancing. But I'm loving that James is like, well, they're best buds these days. Wouldn't put too much to it. Leave it to a man not to totally have the instinct.
Yeah.
Allie's like, you didn't see what I bet Allie's like, you didn't see what I saw.
Yeah, it was probably something. But also the Abbey.
The Abbey is it's like every one of their friends goes there, so it's such an easy place to get busted.
That was the first thing I thought when she said, I was like, the Abbey? The Abbey, guys, for who are not from Los Angeles, is literally doors away from Sir.
Mm-hmm. And Tom and Pump.
And Pump, it's all in the
same. It's right there.
It's all in the same block.
Yeah.
So that's a crazy place to go to to be secretive.
Yeah, which is maybe why James was like, I wouldn't put too much to it, because it wouldn't be where they would go to be hiding.
Maybe they were like, it's so obvious that it won't be obvious.
Yes, exactly.
I guess it kind of worked for a while.
Yeah. But Christina goes over to Lala's, and we're going to have split scenes with Christina at Lala's and then Raquel with Scheana and Brock talking about Oliver and being married. And so Sam, Oliver's ex-wife, whatever, reached out to Lala because she saw that picture Oliver posted, and she's like, I just got a feeling. And Lala could not wait to be like, oh yeah, they fully made out.
Lala was like, I told her everything.
Yeah. And that he's coming out here to go on a date with her. And then they cut over to Raquel's place. Exactly. And Raquel calls Samantha, which is crazy. Obviously, Samantha's voice is not used because she didn't sign that waiver.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So that was probably, she's like, absolutely not doing that.
No. But so Raquel's thing is, and I believe her, she's like, I had no idea he was still committed, and it's really fucked up of him to do that to you, but also to put me in this position. And according to Sam, they are still living in the same apartment together. Nothing about him being in a separate apartment.
Right. Maybe he has a bachelor pad that he takes his girls to or something.
Oh,
maybe.
Possible. But over at Lala and Christina's scene, obviously they are relishing in this moment because Raquel just shamed Lala for being a mistress. And so, it's too easy. It's too easy not to take it. And Scheana feels bad for Raquel because she knows what it's like once you're labeled a mistress, never goes away.
I actually feel like I forgot about it for a while. Scheana, it's been so long. It's like I kind of did forget about it.
Well, I thought people had too, but then the Sandoval comes up and people still keep commenting with like Sheena's a mistress too. I'm like, God, you guys still do that?
I mean, I feel like Brandy has been so crazy that I'm like, I don't even like care anymore. Like, I just don't. Like.
Yeah, it's so much. All right, Lala's birthday. Lala's outfit was perfect. I thought that looked great on her.
Yeah,
I thought it was
great.
a great combination of like sexy on top and the very trendy pant on bottom. She looked hot, hot, hot.
Yeah.
Katie walks in with Satchel, and everyone you could tell is like, okay. Katie's here with the new guy. He's a guy. He's not Schwartz. Got it. Cool. Whatever. But then Raquel and Oliver over on that date, which I'm like, damn, they were willing to get all mic'd up, film this whole scene. He looks very busted. Very busted.
He's like quivering. He's shaking in his boots. He's really hoping Raquel is stupid. Like, he's like, is she gonna I'm gonna try to feed her some bullshit, see if she takes the bait.
Yeah.
Salvage this.
He claims that he's like, I have my own place, but I do occasionally sleep with her. But she's like, where did you sleep the night we made out? And he's like, at my house, by myself. And she's like, well, she says that you had sex with her that night. And he's like, maybe a few days after.
Like, okay.
Oh.
So it confirms everything we thought. Like, I do believe that they're not fully together. I can buy that, but I definitely feel like he has made her feel like at times they're gonna get back together.
Yep. I
I feel like he's like stringing her along essentially, and that's not a separation. In my opinion.
Not at all.
Like if you're messing with her, like you're not separate, and that's too much. I don't want to be a part of that.
Oh yeah. So he apologizes for dragging Raquel into it, and she says it doesn't make up for the bashing I'm getting on social media. And
if she only could have
I know.
crystal ball.
Then her confessional. I'm furious with Oliver for making me look a certain way, which is not representative of who I am at all.
This was crazy, like crazy pants. Like, what? But she knows what she's like, guys. Like, she's already done it, though. It's not like she's going to do it. She's already done it.
She's doing it as she's doing this thing.
Right. It's not even like a one-off. Like
it's happening,
ongoing. Oh my gosh. I mean, I knew that, guys, but I'm just saying it's just like it's still baffling.
He's very much a cheater and doesn't do anything to hide it or keep his wife from finding out, which makes me think he wants her to feel bad. I'm like, girl, you are doing this right in front of Ariana's face. So,
but did you not? That was so interesting to me the way she phrased that. It was almost like she was mad at him for not being secretive, but it would have been better if he was. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the way she said it was just like, at least, like, this is what I heard, knowing what we know. At least Sandoval has a common decency to sneak around and not let Ariana know. Like, he's not trying to hurt her. We're just in love.
Oh, my God.
Like, what Oliver's doing is, like, he's trying to like use me to make her mad, and that's not okay. That's not the type of cheating that I condone. Like, that's what I heard.
That's not the type of cheating I condone. That's so bad. Raquel says they would have had a great time if he had like divorced your wife, and then she takes off. It's so awkward.
I still don't feel like she actually was mad. Like, I feel like she's more mad at Oliver because now, knowing what we know, she's already in a thing. Like, she's already in an affair, right? Like, she's like, I'm not trying to do two at once. Like, I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, for real. Like, that's like, she's like, this is too much. Like, I thought I was gonna, like, this was gonna be a guy, like, you know, I would, like, have fun with, try to make Sandoval jealous. Like, I fully, she was like, I was trying to be on the straight and narrow with this one. Like, I was not trying to be in, like, 2 affairs at the same time. Like,
Yeah.
she was like, this is too much, and you're about to blow my bigger cover. Like, bitch. Like, what are you doing, Oliver? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for this, Oliver.
She's like, that really confirms that I am a mistress then. Raquel then texts Scheana to meet her outside. Meanwhile, Lala and Katie are like talking about like, there is a woman on the other side of this who is suffering. And Scheana walks out, talks to Raquel about how it went. And then she fully co-signs Raquel walking into this party and going to pull Lala out. But Lala's like, what's up, mistress?
I know, that was
shameless. I was not mad at this. Look, I would not do it because I don't have the guts, but I respect Lala for having the guts to do it.
And I do want to say, at first I was like, Scheana, that's like, how you're not going to tell, like, Lala that she's coming to her birthday thing. But then I remembered, Lala did bring Christina Kelly to your.
Yeah.
So, even.
They're even.
I was like, that's fair.
TV.
That's fucking fair.
Producers were like, just go ahead, go on in.
I think I was like, that's fair. That's
yeah.
I can't say any words today.
Repercussions?
I'm not going to say it. I don't fucking know. Whatever, guys.
I hate days like that, especially when I'm recording. Whenever I'm recording solo episodes and I can't say words, it's worse.
Like, I feel like I need a dictionary or something.
Because I'm like, I got nobody to help me. Yeah. Tom, though, is sitting next to Katie, and Katie's like, fuck her, whatever. Tom's like, it seems like you're getting a lot of joy out of this. And Katie goes, you get a lot of joy out of Raquel.
God,
and Tom,
so good.
Tom immediately is busted, right? Like, you could tell Tom's like, yeah, she's a cool person. Like, he's like, fuck, what do you mean? But he knows. He knows that he feels it. And she goes, yeah, you go to the Abbey together at 1 o'clock in the morning. And all Tom had to do here was go, so? We're friends. Like, we go to the Abbey all the time. But instead, he goes, what the fuck are you saying, dude? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Because, like, honestly, it's not that they went to the Abbey at 1 a.m. because I've been to the Abbey with friends that are, like, you know what I mean? Like, you can have male friends and, like, party and stuff like that as long as you're not being inappropriate. But they were obviously being inappropriate.
And he was busted. That's what he's like, what are you talking about? Like, freaked out.
They're like, what did you see? Like, they're like, what did you see? What part of the evening did you see?
Yeah, what night? What night? What night? With who?
Like,
by myself?
Like,
what, just
can
the
you
two
imagine?
Because
they have obviously been having this affair and, like, going on multiple secret dates and stuff like that. Like, what did you see?
Mm-hmm. So Lala and Raquel talk outside, and Raquel wants to apologize for calling her mistress because she didn't, quote, realize how easily a man could mislead you into thinking it is one way when really it is completely, and I swear she cannot get the word out. It goes so long, and finally Lala has to go the opposite.
Yeah.
And it's like, this girl really can't finish a sentence that's off book. But hear me out on this. I feel like with Raquel and Tom, she knows he's in a relationship with Ariana. With Oliver, she actually did believe he wasn't.
Yeah.
And in her, like, super simple mind, she's like, I really did believe. And so I actually now truly am, for the first time, realizing that a man could deceive you. Even though I'm like, James, hi, James, your boyfriend convinced you that he didn't fuck Lala when he did. Like,
yeah.
But this is like a married situation, so it's different but like Raquel is so simple in her thinking. Lala lets this go, though.
I know. I was actually shocked on how, like, quickly she was like, okay. I was like, all right. That's what makes this cast really good, though. They are like, as long as you come correct with your apology, I can move past it. They can move past almost anything except for probably this scandal. But, like,
I was disappointed, though, that Lala says she doesn't want beef with her. I like you. It's like, no, you don't. You don't like her.
I feel like she wants to like her.
Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but it's
she's
like she talks just such a big, this is Lala's downfall for me. She talks such a big game.
yeah.
And then she squashes it so quickly. I'm like, but she kind of like, don't back it up.
Yeah.
Saying you don't want beef with her, I respect that.
Yeah.
Saying I like you, I'm like, no, you don't.
I will say this. I did not like her saying that too, because I'm like, you don't like her.
Yeah,
and
I
now
want you to
you're
stand by that.
And then now you really don't like her, and you're always talking about like I always knew, like, I'm like,
yeah.
so this moment feels very inauthentic now, because it's like you just lied.
Yeah,
you
that part.
lied.
That part.
But I'm not gonna die on that hill. Like, whatever.
Yeah, we're moving on. There's so many bigger fish to fry.
I know.
But Lala, she does admit to, she's like, look, am I relishing in the whole mistress thing? Yes, because she's like, you're going to see footage of me being like, she's a fucking mistress. She's a fucking mistress. You're going to see that. But you, my love, are not a mistress. And then they hug for quite some time. And the episode ends with them being like, okay, good night. All right.
I actually did think that was a genuine moment for
Me
Raquel.
too.
That
Yeah.
I did, because I do think she really, really desires to be accepted by Lala.
I do too.
So I do think that was a real moment. That was a real moment. I don't really
Agreed.
buy the Oliver moment. Like, I think that was a lot of other things, happening from like her.
I think that I meant this moment was genuine with Lala.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I meant this
Okay.
part.
All right, then.
I think the Oliver thing was just her panicking over her image, but this moment, with
Yes,
Lala, I meant.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I would like from the way that she responded to how they were treating her with the Oliver thing. I would love to see the footage of how she responded now. Like, she was already upset by how people were responding to her with Oliver. Like, this has been like way worse. Like, she really did need to like go.
Does she think it's like unfair? She probably does. What am I saying?
I mean, I'm sure she does think it's unfair. I mean, I don't think that anybody should be. I think that it's too far with death threats. Like, relax, everyone, with that. But
Always,
like,
the death threats are all like, why do people take it to that place? You ruin it
I
for
know,
everybody.
Like, what the hell? Like,
you ruin it because when people have genuine things to say, she can't hear that because then you're all talking about dying and stuff. It's
no, guys,
no, we don't need her to die.
like, that's way too far.
What the hell are you talking about? Crazy.
Way too far.
Yeah. But next week, we are going to literally see the beginning of this. Scheana is going to tell Tom that Katie said Raquel is pursuing Sandoval. And it's going to be ridiculous. Ridiculous, right? Oh, crazy.
Right.
And then Tom is going to complain to Schwartz, like, yeah, man, Ariana, she just fucking comes at me all the time. Like, what is this? Shut the fuck up. And James is going to throw that drink in Schwartz's face, and we are going to love it. Give it to us.
If anything, I am just so happy to have shown who the Toms really are this season, both of them, and I'm glad that they're having a terrible season, because they deserve it. So good.
They deserve it. They deserve every second of this backlash. It's finally their turn.
Honestly, they really
the women have been beat up this entire franchise, series, whatever they call it. Yeah, series, not a franchise. It's all the time, every season.
I will say that I really enjoyed this recap because we're so funny. No, because we finally got to talk about Tom to the extent that I wanted to talk about it. Like, because we keep on, like, everyone's like, oh, we're talking like Raquel, like, that's what the fuck was on the screen. Like, we have to recap what the fuck is happening. Like, you know what I mean?
But this episode was so Tom heavy. He was literally in like every scene.
Yeah, like it was Raquel. I think it was for what you could do. It was pretty Raquel light.
I was gonna say Raquel light too.
Yes. Yes. But like we keep on saying, like, wait, like we want to talk about Tom, but he just really wasn't in much before this. So
he just wasn't.
It was kind of like we could only talk about him in the Sandoval part of it, but not really within the recap as much because he wasn't really fucking in the episodes like that. or like doing enough to talk about. Like,
and now we get like a monster. Like he's like a predatory cult leader monster.
Yeah, like buckle up. We made him a whole cult leader.
He's a
guys.
cult
I told
leader.
you guys. Wait,
Yeah,
it was coming.
He said, "Wait,
it was coming." Yeah, I didn't see that coming. He's a cult leader.
He is such a cult leader, though, with his nails all painted and his makeup, and he's fully.
His cult would be so annoying, though. Like,
his cult would be so annoying. It would be so annoying.
Like, I'd be like, I don't want to listen to your cover band anymore.
It would be they'd all have to learn every cover band song. Oh, it'd be the worst cult.
Okay, the only thing that I will say from that I was disappointed with on Scheana's Watch What Happens Live is that she said she actually
10 out of 10.
She said 10 out of 10 enjoyed
a
it.
10 out of 10. Well, that just really goes to show you that her taste level is questionable, okay? Because what I have seen the show with my eyes, and my ears were bleeding. Okay, it's a over 2-hour set of him singing random cover songs. Okay, it is not. You can find clips of it. It's like no, lady.
Yeah,
but that is like, Scheana for you.
Like, stop.
I'm glad you brought that up. That was important. Let's end it there. All right, guys. On that note, stay messes. Love you. Mean it. Bye.
Bye.
I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you did, would you mind leaving me a 5-star rating and review on whatever platform you are listening? If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget there's the super thanks option down at the bottom, the little button with the $ and the heart. And also I'm on buymeacoffee.com/SheSpeaksBravo if you want to buy me a little coffee or 2 or 5. And my Patreon, that is where I'm covering all of the classic Bravo jams. If you want to follow me over there and subscribe, link is in the description. And follow me on Instagram and TikTok at She Speaks Bravo. And whoever the guest was for today, all their information is always in the episode description. So if you want to follow them and check them out, check there for the info. And any of the sponsor codes that I mentioned in this episode will also be in the description. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.